want to state that one of my best friends, my best mates, is from London, Joey Pyle, Sr. And today, Joey Pyle Jr., I call him my third son. I got more respect and more love for Joey and all the guys around Joey than I do for any of the other guys around the country. I gotta be honest. But Joey Sr. and I enjoy a long-lasting and loving relationship.
So for people who don't know, obviously I'm based in London, so obviously I know all about Joey Pyle. So tell us a little bit about Joey Pyle. How did you come into his life, or how did he come into your life? And a bit about your business with him.
I actually met him through a dear friend, Danny Sims. Danny Sims owned the first publishing and discovered Bob Marley. And he was in the recording business. And then he had an office in London. Over there, he was with Joey. And they got Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac. And so they had a deal with Warner Brothers. And Danny introduced me to Joey. And Joey knew a little bit about me. And they asked me if I would look over Mark while he was here in the U.S., make sure he got to the studio and things like that there. And of course, I did it. I brought my son Anthony with me. He's younger and he understands the music business much better than I do. And he and Mark hit it off real well. And my son seen to it that Mark got to Warner Brothers, recorded and so forth. And since that day, Joey and I, for some reason, we just clicked like this. You can't believe it. And we got to the point where we're talking on the phone from across the pond 4 or 5 times a day. And Joey would be out at a pub every night, of course, or, at his kitchen when the pub's closed. Joey always ended the evening there. And he put all his mates on the phone with me, and I got to know everybody over the phone. And then, of course, I traveled to London several times and spent a lot of time with Joey. And actually, Joey came here when I did the concert. I did White Club John at the Aladdin Hotel in Las Vegas. So he came over with the whole crew. And, so if I needed something in Europe, Joey handled it. Joey needed something over here, I handled it. And I miss him very dearly to this day.
Rest in peace to Joey Pyle. He had a very big reputation in London, and he still does to this day, and I've never heard a bad word said about him. He must be an awesome guy, good guy.
And I'll tell you, Joey Jr. is his father, and we talk often.
Yeah, I see that he's slightly involved in the boxing. Joey Pyle Jr. is as well.
Actually, Joey and I were talking. Joey has a book coming out. He asked me to write an acknowledgement. And it was the last time I saw Joey Sr. Me, my son Anthony, and John Daly all traveled to London. John Daly was a famed film producer, director. He did Platoon, countless of other movies. He's an Englishman himself.
Yes.
We were at the fights at Caesars. And I'll never forget, young Joey was boxing a guy named Burt Reynolds. B-U-R-T. Believe it or not, his name was Burt Reynolds. Yes. And Joey really pounded the shit out of this guy. But more importantly than watching Joey pound the shit, I was looking at his father's face, who was in a wheelchair at the time, looking at his face and just beaming for the pride and how proud he was of his son and how much he loved his son. And that picture, I wish I had a camera. It was worth unworthy. You couldn't put a dollar on it.
I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and please stay tuned for future videos, and like, share, subscribe, and leave any suggestions for future videos in the comment section. Thank you.